Just see bare Twi'leks, bro.
No, as in like
disappointed, Senator Tar.
family.
Despite our new refinement,
That might be a dud right there.
jobs to your citizens.
We are live, guys. I'm Joe, one third of the Cyber Nerds.
Raven the GS.
So Mr. Blitz Tech.
Welcome back to the TCNFam Temple channel, and today we've got another review of Star Wars Clone Wars Season 7.5, The Bad Batch, the new Boba Fett, Rebels prequels. Now, if you're as into Star Wars as we are, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up, and click that notification bell so you can get notified every time we drop a video. Guys, how do you man feel about today's episode of Rebels? Bad Batch. Clone Wars 7. Wow, sorry. I'm losing track because it's all just.
I guess it solidifies the trilogy
of Clone Wars, Rebels, and Bad Batch.
Yeah,
but the issue, like for me, the issue is that the Bad Batch are sidemen in their own series. Innit? Like in Clone Wars.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
In Clone Wars, the Clone Wars was
the focus.
In Rebels, the Rebels was the focus. And in Bad Batch, everything else is the focus.
Cameo
except for the Bad Batch, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying?
I hear you on that.
That's my own issue.
Yeah, listen, I won't even fight you on that. I won't even fight you on that.
I did enjoy the episode because it's Hera, but at the same time, man didn't sign up for this, bruv.
Yeah. I get all of that. To me, like the way I'm taking it is just like I said, just solidifying the connections throughout all series, innit? That's the way I took it. You know what I'm saying? Like especially when Hera meets the Bad Batch and she begins a relationship with Omega, innit?
Bruv,
like
this is
they've now have a little friendship.
It's the Han Solo movie all over again, bro.
Yeah.
Where you you don't need to explain that Hera found her love for flying through meeting Omega, who said, "Oh yeah, flying's about a feeling."
No, but she was already into thing, innit?
Bruv, she was, bruv, but that was like the magic code for her, innit? Do you know what I'm saying?
For Omega.
No, for Omega, whatever,
Like she's the one who said that to Omega.
Bruv, but it's I don't feel like we need that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Why? Like I have no issue. Like I don't see what the issue is with that. Like
I just think
she was just explaining to Omega like how she feels about flying, like as a child.
It's not okay. It's not their interaction. It's just like, do we need this, bruv? Like, do we need to make sure that we know that every single character has met in some sort of capacity at some point for it to mean something or potentially not mean something later on? Do you get what I'm saying?
I don't know.
And that's why I feel like the meeting between Hera and Omega is only a plot device later on, either for each other or any of the characters. Because now, if we see Omega later down the line, if she now becomes the nicest pilot, it's because Hera told her the feeling of flying.
This is the point.
Okay, so that's the issue with the Omega's character and not the whole.
No, Hera.
It's
because like same thing with Han Solo. Watching that movie, man was called one thing. Man was by himself. I'm gonna call myself now Han Solo. This is how I got my gun.
No, but that was
this and that.
Dead.
This is how
that
I
was
run,
like
the whole run thing.
There was like no substance to that. Like someone just said, "Oh, you ain't got no people, Solo." Yeah, but there was like no meaning to it. Like me personally, like I don't see anything her bumping into them lot, especially because of what's going on in the wars and what got her there in the first place has a deeper meaning. Yo, my dad's blindsided by Peace so much. His best friend is on the opposite side, so they go on the mission and they bump into these lot. To me, that's calm. I don't see anything like compared to Solo. Solo's completely detached from anything.
What I'm saying is the story is alright. The beginning of the the Twi'leks and this whole problem. They're trying to find out why the rebels are still here, even though they've just now announced peace or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's all cool. I like that part because obviously, I've never really seen the side of, like you're saying, the parents and where they're that this problem ever like stemmed from. But then for me, I always have a problem with you set up a character over here, and then all of a sudden you got to set up almost like reasons why.
You got to validate that character through other characters, and that's what's going on.
Especially like
here.
if it's not mad character development, because now obviously she has the feeling of flying or whatever from young or whatever, but then you still got to set up in betweens of how your stuff's getting so nice or whatever. Because the difference between this and then Anakin is that Anakin was the nicest from birth or whatever.
He's going in.
He's been developing from the what do we call it, the council, and then the Sith also tempting man. So he's always in between. But then at the end, we're like, the reasons why he still saves Luke at the end is because man's always like the balance in between light and dark in such a sense. But here it's just like, oh, man's just like the feeling of flying. From there, you're just gonna be nice.
And then
that's mad for me.
yeah, see, it's definitely
we haven't seen Thing being nice at flying yet.
She
was just like,
this is the point.
She just as a child, she's like, she found something new, and she was like, oh, I know this new information.
The point I feel like the point Sam's trying to make is that she picked up the bow. Yeah. Next episode, she's a bow expert. She told her about strategy. Next episode, she's a street expert.
I see.
So this
the whole thing.
Yeah. So like that's the issue, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? They're gonna validate how good Omega is in the future by flying, by a conversation she had here.
And I've acknowledged that. I've acknowledged the whole Omega stuff.
Yeah, which is undeserved, bruv. Man's not saying the whole episode's dead, bruv. The episode's fine, but like, it's just not. For me, it's just not needed, bruv.
Just in the aspect of Omega. I've already I acknowledged that. Okay, cool. But yeah.
And even then, like the episode, like this is like Joe was saying, things called Bad Batch. We get
a cameo.
A minute, bro.
They cameoed in their own episode, bro. In their own show, bro.
It's their own thing. Like throughout the whole season, we've been cameoing other characters. I don't mind them showing this person, that person. That's cool. Like that interaction in this time period, fine. But I don't really understand how we then get a Hera episode in the Bad Batch rather than the opposite direction where they're the one getting the call because they're in trouble. They're going over there, and because of that, they're tracking the Bad Batch, that's how they get found out, rather than the opposite way that these guys are plotting something, and they're called a Bad Batch. They get the weapons from them, and then they get in trouble. For me, that's all mad, bro.
I think, way I'm reading it is that this is a setup for them, man, to come through later on, like next episode, and this is what I'm going with this whole thing, because when we first started watching the episode, I was like, raw, I wonder if we're gonna see Hera's people. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's because I was already thinking how they're going to make the connections with the whole thing. Do you know what I'm saying? Just based off my knowledge. So when now the whole thing develops, and because remember, we've never seen Hera's mom before, right? And I was even questioning, yo, have we seen the mom before? He was like, no, seen the pictures. Clearly something's going to happen here. Mom's going to get dusted. And because they've established that connection with Hera and them, man, I'm thinking, yo, these not going to get captured. It's going to come back. These men going to come back. And this is where perhaps Hera is going to have this fall off with her dad and bust case. And this is the moment man's going to be like, oh, X, Y, Z, boom, Rebels, Hera, dad's issues. So I'm already thinking about the episodes in Rebels when she's coming back to Ryloth. This is why I'm not having the issues, because my knowledge is kicking in.
That whole thing that you're talking about, yeah, is the issue for me. That whole thing, bruv. That whole thing. Because, yeah, bruv, it all makes... Bruv, man is not fighting the connection. Oh, man sees the connections, yeah. I don't want that here. I want to watch Bad Batch. That's my point. Whether they come back or not, yeah, it's just like, fam, I'd rather see what Sam's talking about, where it's like, Sid gives them the mission, go deliver the things here, this is what's going on the planet, boom, boom, boom. That's a Bad Batch episode, not a Hera episode. Bruv, you know man loves Hera, bruv. Best pilot in the galaxy. But I feel like man signed up to watch the Bad Batch. And this was the complaint of that last episode, bruv. Like, these men are taking a back seat. The beefs and the conflicts that I feel like, or even in the trailers that man was sold on, oh, what are we going to do about our brothers? Oh, this war here, this... Bruv, we're not getting that, bruv. They're not delivering on that. Do you know what I'm saying? they're delivering on. We're just gonna plug bare stuff for later, bruv. And this is even for the difference for me between like a season like this and Rebels, bruv. Even though Rebels included Ahsoka, it had a like the core characters. We stuck with them the whole way, and other characters intertwined with them. Much like I didn't like what they did with Cad Bane, but he intertwined with them as opposed of them being part of this, bruv. Like, that's why the show's called The Bad Batch, bruv. You know what I'm saying? You could have just called it Clone Wars Aftermath or something. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because this is what this is. We're just bruv. And then I would say nothing about Cad Bane episode, Hera episode. You could bring Kanan. In fact, they already did the Kanan episode to start. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, just call it something else. But man's feeling like, we're going to be with the Bad Batch. And we're not, bruv. And even when we're with the Bad Batch, we're not. We're with Omega, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? So I just feel like the focus of the show's not there for me. Do you get me? All the connections, Star Wars always do this, bruv. But I think in this series specifically, they're just beating us over the head with connections, instead of like letting us learn and grow with our characters, which they ain't even doing. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, our Bad Batch characters have almost had like no story arc, character arc at all. Like, the individual guys. Omega?
Yeah.
Hey, she's living.
We've already established that.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, this further pushes it along the lines for me. Like, bruv, like, there's just not like, I don't feel like they're taking care of the core characters or the title characters of the show. Do you know what I'm saying? And we're 11 episodes in, 5 episodes left. Get me? Like, that's just how I feel about it, innit? Get me? Have you man got final thoughts on the episode?
No, I still like the whole aspect, because this is a new era for the galaxy. And like, last episode we were in Rex Saturn, the planet, and obviously them lot were taking over that place, and they're showing the differences between different leaders. Obviously over here in Ryloth, their main leader has always been bounded by greed. Do you know what I mean? And because Hera's dad is trying to get peace so bad, he's blindsided by it, and because it's a new thing, like, we're seeing how the effects, how certain people are going on about moving forward in this new time. Do you know what I mean? And they're getting caught up with the Imperial's lies. Obviously, if they have one or two people pushing the agenda, and they're probably getting one or two things out of it. Do you know what I mean? So it was good to see that last episode, one leader, he was by the cause, but then he clocked like, no, I can't do this to my people. And here we're seeing in Ryloth, we're seeing clearly this leader is doing something, and he's obviously jealous of the general. But then there's other factions. It's almost like there's 3 different factions here. There's the greed. There is the one that wants peace, and there's one that just sees everything. It's like, no, this is wrong. Do you know what I'm saying? Because we can adapt to the new thing, but fam, we don't need to give up our guns, innit? And I feel like that's actually what's gonna set Ryloth apart from other planets, and which we've seen that in other series, innit? So I actually thought that was really good, and obviously love seeing Hera in this thing, and I really want to see the next episode, how they're gonna go from here, and if we're going to see Hera falling off with her dad based on this. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, because if that's the case, that's actually pretty deep, because then it's like, it just solidifies why she's a rebel from the core, like, to a different level than her dad and his people, innit, in Ryloth, in Rebels, because it's like, it'll almost be like a device to the destruction of her family. Because since they came over, fam, nothing's been the same. Mum's gone, dad trusted you, and because he trusted you, the ripple effects, do you know what I'm saying? It just keeps building. So that's the kind of thing I'm looking for the next episode.
Bruv, and this is what is mad. This is what's mad, bruv. All of that is super legit, bruv. That is super legit and interesting, fam. But it's like, it feels displaced, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? That's my only issue, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we're dealing with this here, bruv. Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm interested to see how it plays out on her part. But bruv, like, nothing you just said there has got anything really to do with the Bad Batch.
I completely understand where you two are coming from. But then sometimes man just gotta be like, hey, that's what you're giving, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm also being naive about it. You know what I'm saying? Much like a dad, because I'm so caught up with certain. Do you know what I'm saying? Certain characters.
I just think like because man's so invested in Hera, it's like bruv, and it's the thing. I don't want it to get confused. Like, bruv, what they're showing is sick.
Yeah,
like when we're talking about character development for Hera, how she got to be how she is, bruv. But at the same time.
Bro, we've already established that whole thing about
I'm not getting over it, bro. Because the sicker this is,
because
the sicker it is for Hera, I'm like, well, why? You know what I'm saying? Why did someone not put pen to paper like this for the Bad Batch? Because if you did, like, we'd be in a whole different sit, bro. Do you know what like every time someone gets stunned in this, it takes me out the show, bro. It takes me out the show.
I think it only adds to what I'm saying because these are so like they don't trust the thing, but they're still being passive. They're not 100% committed to the thing.
Nah, like, bro, because they shot some man.
Yes, man.
Because they stunned some man, bro. There was no consistency to what was going on.
No, I think that's purposely done to show like how these men feel about each other and how one's committed to the thing and the other one's like, am I in?
Nah, bro. They had a random Twi'lek soldier jump in and stun the guy, but then on the peds. They was blowing each other up.
Yeah, that was the only one scene when she shot the guy up. Yeah. But the guy was still alive. So she must have done that to just disable the machine, the speeder. Because he was still alive. Because I thought, right, okay. Because when I saw it, I was like, we're in it now. And then he was still up. Now,
I don't know about all this stunning,
you see, now I've got one question. Because when I was watching this, so do you reckon there's only one clone apart from?
No, they're all clones. They're all clones. They said that they're all clones.
Okay.
Wasn't they ain't done the transition
because them men are still like are moving a bit like just
because all the 66
blasé. Apart from the other dude,
the one who had his
the one I said he's gonna end up helping them,
which I don't like, bro. Because at this point, all the 66, these men should all be tapped, bro.
But what if he's one of them, man? But he just didn't have a companion to buck with.
What do you mean?
Like, you see the guy with the blue helmet?
Yeah.
What if his chick also didn't think,
but
bro, he just ain't got no one to lean on?
We can't just be doing that, bro. We're making that. Because we're making that, you're just saying that.
The same way it happened to the Bad Batch. Why would it happen to someone who's just by himself?
They was GM'd. They was GM'd, bro. They were GM'd. They're like, this brother's a regular clone. He should have snapped the same way all of the rest of the man did, bro. I can't just unless they tell me that, I'm not just say, oh yeah, this one's cool. Because we could just use that excuse for everyone, bro.
No, but bruv, you saw the way I was reacting during the watch along. I was like, yo, like,
I hear you.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's the feeling I'm getting from the guy.
No, bruv, I think you're right. He is gonna help. I do think that, but I think that's wrong.
Only because he keeps saying she's a child. That's the only reason.
They were trying to kill Kanan.
No, this particular soldier.
No, I know him.
Yeah.
He kept on saying that.
Yeah.
But even before, Tap soldiers were trying to kill Kanan.
Only because he was a Jedi, though.
Boy, these men are moving against the Empire, bruv. They're traitors, and they said this as well. Yeah. They're branded as traitors, bruv. They should get clapped. I hear what you're saying. Soldiers follow orders.
Yeah, no, it's true.
That's the mantra, innit?
So unless he's, I know, yeah, exactly.
And this is what I'm saying. That's inconsistent. If that's what it is, bruv. Because these man, as soon as it was like, oh, you're doing against the Empire, bam, 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 bruv. That's all I'm saying,
from
fam.
the beginning of this episode, this guy was just had a completely different vibes from everybody else.
He is, bruv. But then, like
he
I'm saying,
didn't report on the kid.
He got against.
He didn't, bruv. Like, and
I think that's their, bruv. Unless they come in another episode. And then they go, oh yeah, this guy happened, bruv.
And I think that's what's gonna happen. And that's why I was screaming, yo, he's gonna end up helping them, man. Because like,
he's gonna help, but I just think it's dead. I think it's dead.
I guess we have to wait and see the next episode, innit?
Probably on the next episode. But no, yeah, Raven, you brought up some interesting points about each planet and their leaders, about how they move when the Empire comes across. But that's what the things would be about when the Bad Batch come after the fact. Because that was pretty sick how you pointed that out. Like last episode, this guy was like, "Oh, Empire's here. We're gonna do this," and he was like, "Oh wait, no, I can't do this for my people." And then called a Bad Batch because he wanted to get the robot.
No, he just put out the mission,
for
and
the
then
robot.
she ended up sending them, man.
So obviously the robot came to call them, man. And it's just been here as well where they knew this guy was on greed. So as soon as that happened, that dude who called for more supplies should have also been like, our planet's like this, and because our man at the top doesn't care about the actual people, that's then a mission also for the Bad Batch. But
and that's going to be interesting. Like, let's say if they do return, what's their motives for returning? Is Sid sending them to do the mission? Are they coming back now because of the relationship between Omega and Hera? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, they should have been here on job for something. There should have been a reason for them to stay. And this is us just hoping they come back. Because next episode, we might be somewhere else doing something else, bro. And circle back to this 2-3 episodes from now.
They have to close this off. It's way too open. They have to close it off.
Bro, just...
That's what I feel, fam.
It was like, yeah, we've had it, they don't, but at the same time, this whole season's
been all over the place. That's what I'm saying.
I wouldn't be surprised.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah, but all of them, but at least they closed like every mission at least.
For the Bad Batch, the mission was closed. They delivered the pizza and cut, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
we're calling them pizza, man.
bro, they're pizza delivery boys in this episode, fam. That's what I saw, innit? You get
Crazy.
me? Anyway, guys, jump in the comment section below. Let us know what you think about this episode of The Bad Batch Clone Wars Season 7.5 and the Rebels prequel. Other than that, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Head over to patreon.com/cybernerds/ the Sith Temple tier for all your Star Wars goodness early and before everyone else. Other than that, I'm Joe on Further the Cybernerds.
Revenue GS.
Mr. Blitztech.
See you on the next episode.
Peace.